Poor Cold. This combo of Muriel plus Grim is pretty nasty. Serenity, damage increase, displacement blast, GTFO, and you are out. We have a game of him playing Murdoch today, and as usual, here a quick roundup of what he has built in terms of ability: buckshot into static trap into hot pursuit of the early levels. In terms of abilities priority, of course, buckshot is the ability that you max first after the ultimate long arm of the law. It's interesting because here static trap or hot pursuit can be like a choice, and he decided to opt for the static trap, I think, to be able to space himself more against the Feng Mao and the Kalari. And now we are on the new patch, 6 item patch, and so here we can see already like a new item. We're gonna go for the crest for the pacifier into the lightning oak and the nuclear rounds, which is like a new item that gives you like ability damage, which works well with the buckshot and the long arm of the law, imperator, demolisher, normal crit pass route, and also now the lightning oak with the momentum passive that empower your first basic attack when you go into a fight. Works very well with Murdoch passive. Let's jump into the match. So we have a match of Cold Asia on the new patch playing Murdoch, and he's gonna have a Aurora support facing against Muriel Grim.exe. And against like that thing, you have to be a little bit careful because they have a lot of poke damage. We can see here Unga Bunga on the Muriel going immediately for the Serenity onto Cold. And of course, since you have Aurora as your support, it's actually like gonna be very hard to contest that lane. Here we can see Cold trying to go for like the increased range basic attack to be able to bring back the wave towards him, but immediately getting punished by Unga Bunga, so we will have to fully respect that. As you can see, they cannot really like afford to get like any last hit whatsoever, but the wave is gonna push towards them. So of course they're gonna play close to their tower. This wave is gonna crash on their tower, and now we're looking at trying to get as much farm as we can. Here the Aura like stepping forward, stacking half of his HP for like no reason. You cannot really freeze that wave. You're a level 1 against level 2. You cannot really like fight them because they have too many minions. Minions deal a lot of damage. So like this whole situation from the Aura wasn't really like well played. She should have been like cold behind the tower, and here we're trying like to get like as many last hit as we can under tower. That's a skill as a carry that you need to have, because there is some situation like that one that you cannot do like anything else. So you have to be able like to farm under tower. Here we can see Cold is trying to get like as many as he can. Here he could have gotten this range minion if he first auto attack him, but unfortunately he missed, and so we're only at 10 CS after the first 3 wave, which you can be like normally at 18 CS, so we're quite low. And here we can see like Unga Bunga stepping a little bit forward, but without the protection of Grim, and so that means that then Cold takes advantage of that to get a little bit of damage, and then we get the Aura, and that's gonna be a first blood. So here you can see like just Cold playing passively well he needs, but as soon as there is like a small window of opportunity, I think here the Muriel doesn't realize that the Grim was going for warding, and so she just like stay a little bit too close to the enemy dual lane, and they get like punished pretty well. So here we get like a first blood, so pretty well against like a lane that normally have a lot of pressure, but now we have like the bounce back because the wave crash. As you can see, we still have 3 minions that are alive, and so that means that the wave is going to advance towards the other direction. So that's a moment that we need to be careful, because we can be looking at actually trying to crash that wave, but it's not going to be easy because enemy jungler can be around, so it's something that we have to respect. Especially since once again we are with the Aura support against a Muriel plus a Grim, both having like very good wave clear, so we don't control anything. So here we're trying like to bait a little bit. The Rampage do miss the Boulder Throw, so we're gonna try like to follow that up, but to be honest, like as soon as the Boulder Throw is missed, we should be like stopping that aggression. Here this Aura go like very deep, but the Rampage was away. We go for the flash. The Aura actually like send Cold back into the fight, so this Aura is gonna be dead. Cold needs to be careful. The Rampage is still here, stayed around because of the level up, but now like the wave is in a very bad state. And here this whole situation was like we get the Rampage that comes, try to go for the boulder, but as soon as the boulder is missed, well, we shouldn't really like keep the aggression, because without the boulder, the lockdown potential is not there anymore. But what we should be doing is taking the advantage that the rampage is here and we're in a 3v2 to crash the wave under tower. Instead of that, the rampage goes away, the aura go fight, and suddenly now we have the aura that is dead and the wave that is in a very bad situation for Cold. All of that not really of like Cole didn't do any mistake. It's mainly his teammate here that made like a bad decision, and no, like Cold is actually like in a bad situation, so he's kind of forced to expose himself to try to crash that wave. Here, thanks to the fact that the Grim had to go back to base, they couldn't like keep that freeze for longer, so I think Cold will be able like to break it. But that means that we're starting to be like quite far behind when it comes to the creep score. Cold is probably like here around like 20 CS down, something like that, which is substantial like at 6 minutes into the game. In terms of itemization, we can see that the rapid wrap here has been completed, and also the saber probably working towards the lightning hook. And as you can see here, we just crashed the wave, and the wave was like pretty big, which means that it's gonna be like quite a while before the wave start to get out of tower. So Cold decided to take this advantage to go like catch a little bit of vision with warding deep before he comes back to the wave. Of course, like this dual lane, Muriel Grim has a lot of poke. But one problem of that dual lane is like, yeah, it's very strong in terms of poking, that chunk your health like very much, but at the same time, like it's a lane that don't have like any real form of CC, and if they start to fall behind or if someone starts to get big on the map, they don't really have anything to stop it. So yeah, it's a lot of pressure, but that's something that you can like be able like to survive afterwards. So here we see we take a lot of damage. We do have to be careful because like this Grim is already level 5, so as soon as he gets level 6, like then one burst combo can be enough to kill Cold. So that's something that he needs to be wary of. And so here, we're still like trying, like as you can see, they cannot step forward. That's a big portion because of the fact that they have aura. Here we do have the Muriel and we're starting to fight, but you see Cold is kind of low, so he cannot really like go fully. Here he keeps his spacing as much as he can, so the enemy team cannot fully engage on him, but unfortunately there is the Feng Mao coming. We're gonna go for the flash, but the flash is not gonna be enough. And overall in that fight, I kind of like what Cold is doing. As you can see, he's not super healthy, but he still like stay in a position that he can help his teammate, but he never overcommit on one or the other target, because if he overcommits on one target, suddenly the other they can both turn on him. And so he tried like to space himself properly. He also like, in a sense, if the Feng Mao wasn't there, his positioning was perfect. He tried to put the rampage between him and his opponent so he can still DPS while not being super exposed. But unfortunately here the Feng Mao arrived for the rotation, and that's gonna be a kill. Aura a little bit too over aggressive so far in that match. As we have seen, she already like have overcommitted like multiple times. And when you play carry in solo queue, well, you don't always choose your support, so you have to deal with it. And so Cold trying to support his own support in a sense by always being in a position to follow up what he's doing, but also like not overcommitting if he thinks that's a bad fight or a mistake of positioning. Here once again we do have the wave that is advancing on our tower, but Cold is just like showing a little bit of presence to force the dual lane to stay in lane, because as we can see, we do have the team taking the Feng Tooth in the meantime. And so Cold doesn't want them to be able to go there for free, so he just stay at the limit of where he can be while being safe, but also not like feeling that the dual lane is free to step up. And now like he baited them again. I'm not really sure why the enemy dual lane step up when they just like finish the Feng Tooth. Here unfortunately we missed the buckshot, so we have to go a little bit deeper, and that means that we take a lot of damage, and now the Feng Mao is here, and that's gonna be a turnaround because of the arriving of the Feng Mao. It's gonna be pretty close. We get the Earth Shatter again. The aura is going away. We get the ultimate, the GTFO, and that's gonna be a 3-for-1. Overall on the map it seems to be a 4-for-1, but we still secure the Feng Tooth. Overall, I love like once again what you see what Cold was doing. He kept the tension without exposing himself. He still stay at the maximum range to be safe, but the minimum range to be like annoying. Like that's like this perfect limit that he find that actually like created all this play. In the end the play didn't work still. The idea was good. He stopped the mid-dual lane from rotating to Feng Tooth by himself, and then he created an opportunity that his team should have been winning. Unfortunately, we take a little bit too long to use the buckshot, which means the Muriel can flash away, and then we have to overchase a little bit too much. That makes that Cold is dead, and as soon as Cold is dead, we're lacking damage with Aura Rampage remaining against the Feng Mao, and so we cannot win that fight anymore. Still, it's not because sometimes the execution is not perfect that actually the idea of the play is not correct. So here we're just waiting. Wave is like not really frozen. It's gonna bounce back because as you can see here the wave arrived faster. So now we're gonna have like 4 range minion against 2, but enemy team loves to step up and like farm minion aggressively. So keeping the wave as close as you can to your tower is always a good thing in those situations. And here we can see like the poke is pretty substantial. Like Grim plus Muriel, like the Serenity, 8% more damage. Has to be careful because now it's probably like in range. Ooh, Serenity. And that's very well played by the combo. And that's exactly the combo. You can go for like Serenity. Serenity apply a damage increase on the target that it hits. And so suddenly then you go for the Displacement Blast into GTFO, and that's like a very, very, very dead Cold. Here we try to get like for the counter fight, and here it seems to be working well. Thanks to the Rampage rotation, we still like salvage that play pretty well. But once again, like Wave is left in a very bad state. Which means that Cold, as you can see, since Wave is in a bad state in dual lane, he's gonna try to get his farm somewhere else. Like, he's behind, he's actually like struggling, and his teammate is not making it easy for himself. Here, once again, I know it was risky, but the Rampage and the Aura should have crashed the wave under tower. Because as you can see, the wave is still not under tower, which means that even Cold, after getting like the farm in mid lane, because there was nothing to be farmed, here you can see like the wave, I'm not even sure if the wave have gone under tower yet. It's maybe like at the limit as we can see on the minimap. Which makes it like, now Cold is coming here. Okay, so it was under tower, but you can see like he still like lost a full wave. Overall, he lost like 2 wave and a half, 3 wave, thanks to the fact that his teammate don't really understand wave management. And no, like he's probably like 30 CS down, which is kind of a lot. But still, we're securing objective on the map, and why I did select that match is because as you can see, like the early game is pretty tough and it's a very hard matchup. His teammates are not really helping Cold in terms of wave management. He's taking like a lot of pressure. There is not much their composition can do against the enemy composition. And here you can see like we see that we're missing mid. We don't know where is the enemy jungler. Cold is like having like the presence of spirit to go here. He's gonna try to go away. Unfortunately, like the timing is not perfect. We're gonna get the Gideon, the Feng Mao, and we're gonna flash to dash to dodge the hamstring, and we're actually out. So here, Cold, like under a lot of pressure, but realizing that he was getting collapsed on, and okay, we lose tower, but we're not gonna like give my life again, so I can still like kind of farm. As we can see, we're at 62 CS against 94, so like I said, we're 30 CS down. This early game is pretty rough, but it's not like, oh, we're gonna try to come back here. Entropy going a little bit too deep, and a pretty nice kill for Cold to get like a little bit of gold under his pocket. And you can see like he's 2 level down, but he's still like gonna do his best to stay relevant in that match. Here you can see like how many people would have just gone like through like this little situation. And here the Aura is going in, Aura trying to go for the ultimate, but I think she missed. And like, of course the Muriel is the right target, but Cold knows that he cannot step up here because the Scream is gonna be able to kill him from the back. So here he just like retreat back towards like his Rampage, and now he's playing around the pillar, and now he can play like this 3v2, and that's gonna be like the kill onto the Grim, and now this Muriel is going to go away. And once again, like you can see, like Cold is behind. He knows he's not like super far ahead because it's absolutely not. Like I said, he is behind, but he still like play every single fight to the best of his abilities. Here the Aura goes in, and how many people would have just like mindlessly follow the Aura towards the Muriel and get killed by the Grim that just shoots you in the back? Here Cold realized this situation is okay, the Muriel is a good target, but at the same time I need to not be able to get destroyed by the Grim, and so he doesn't like fully go for it. And here you can see he gets force ammo to attack. He realized that the Feng Mao is out, he will not be able to kill it. Back to farming immediately. The crunch secured the kill. And so he's just positioning himself in a way that he can actually like try to help, but as soon as he realizes that he's in a 1v1 against the Grim and it's a 1v1 he's not gonna win because he's behind, well, it just like start to back out. As you can see, don't even auto attack, it just like fully run away with the odd pursuit until he's in a position where his teammate, the Rampage, can help him. And now he tried to play around the pillar because he can play with his teammate, not being shot at, and suddenly, well, you get the kill onto the Grim while you stay alive because you play the fight smartly even by being behind. So we secured the second Fang Tooth of the game. We're still like kind of struggling on the carry role, but here as we can see in terms of itemization, we finished Lightning Oak, we finished Nuclear Rounds. However, the Crest is not finished yet, so we have been like struggling with that. And in terms of like the second abilities that Cold is maxing, as we can see, he has decided to opt for the Static Trap. Probably to be able to space a little bit better that Feng Mao, that Calari. Odd Pursuit doesn't really help against those people, while having like more static trap is important. We're trying to go for the rotation because there is a big fight in mid, but unfortunately here we get like caught up by the Feng Mao. There is a big minion wave, there is not much we can do. Tower is gonna fall and here we're like forced to fully disengage and we didn't have any impact in that fight. I feel like the rotation was a little bit tough, but since there was like a big fight, Cole decided to come. Here we do have Taken Kid that is still fighting, and here we're gonna turn our attention like how many people would have used the snipe before, but here we get like a very nice double kill. And once again, I want to point out how Cold is very smart in his team fight. How many people would have just used the long arm of the low to kill the target that is just running away? But if you do that, probably Taken Kid die in his fight against the Feng Mao. So what Cole does is actually go for the guaranteed play, which is I'm gonna save my offlaner by killing the guy he's fighting, and then I will try to Hail Mary snipe. Of course the second kill is not guaranteed, but if you put like that into the equation, if you go for the easier snipe, yeah, you get the kill, but your offlaner dies. It's a 1-for-1. Here, if you go for like helping your offlaner, that's a kill guaranteed while saving your offlaner. So if you're 1-0, and then you maybe have a chance of going for the blind snipe, that is like the fancy play, but it's just like the cherry on top. Like even if you don't secure that snipe, it's still a 1-for-0, and in the end it ends up a 2-for-0. So it just like set himself up for success by going for the right play, while many of us would just say like, oh, low HP target, let's use my snipe and try to get the kill. So here we see we're skipping the wave because the Aura is fighting to try to follow up with the teammate. We do have the Mortgage that is around and we don't care about the wave at all. We're gonna use the pacifier plus the buckshot to be able to secure the kill. We do have to be careful though because not everyone is getting like kind of low, but the rest of the teammate are gonna manage to secure that kill. This Aura like going very aggressive. I think Gold is starting to catch up on it because like it just like, okay, this Aura is in, I'm skipping the full wave and I'm gonna fight with them. And once again here we can see many people would say like, oh, she's a little bit too far away, let's farm the wave. But no, like the Aura is a very aggressive person. We get an opportunity, let's skip the wave and fight and then get the wave. Always the right and the smart decision. And that's something I kind of like about that game, is because like a lot of people like kind of consider Cold as one of the best carry in the game, and that's true, but also like a lot of people consider him like a very crazy mechanical player. And as we can see in that match, I don't feel like there is like any crazy mechanical prowess in a sense. It's mainly just like smart fighting. He knows how to position himself, he knows how to not overcommit, he knows when he can actually like be aggressive, and that's what is carrying himself. And that's once again like something I want to see is like GrandMaster, yeah, true, they're a good mechanical player, they know the limit of their character, all those things, but the main things that really like is the big difference between GrandMaster player and us like simple Joe is the fact that they actually like are smart about every single decision they do. It's the decision making that makes the biggest difference. Of course, if you're a carry, you need to learn your auto attack. That's for sure, but mainly what we see here is just like smart decision making. So here we have a little fight. We're trying like to play into the choke point. We don't have any really tank. We try to get the kill onto the Feng Mao. And here, oh, we see that Tekken Kid goes in. And as soon as Tekken Kid goes in, now you can see like how we just like full on W and we're gonna follow up because we realize that the tides are turned. And so now we can go like very, very aggressive. And so we're gonna secure like this team fight. Tekken Kid doing like a great job on the crunch. To be fair, the enemy team composition doesn't have anything to stop the crunch. So they're just like getting like obliterated by it. And here we can see fight is finished. We're at 2 Feng Tooth up. So what do? We start the Feng Tooth. That's the important play here. It's securing the triple Feng Tooth before the enemy team can actually come to contest it. And so Cold doesn't really care about taking damage, doesn't really care about his teammate being around. We're just gonna secure that as fast as we can before the enemy team can be there. And once again, even if you're behind, it's not really like that big of a deal. And I'm pretty sure here, with all those like smart fighting, all those like waves that have been farmed, despite the fact of being 30 CS down in the beginning of the match, I'm pretty sure like no Cold has caught up to his opposition. And is like now finally like activated for that game. We finished the Imperator with 3 items. And we're 6, 3, and 7. Despite like, it was 1-3 like at the beginning of the match, and now he just got 5 kills, 1-3-2. So he participated in 10 kills, getting 5 of them without dying a single time again, as soon as like the early game is finished. So it's also like a good thing to show that it's not because the early game doesn't go well that you have like to just like lose spirit. Here we can see Cold realize that, okay, early game is tough. He just do the smart play to not like feed like crazy. And then like he just like know that he's gonna have like opportunity if he plays smart. Also because he has like Tekken Kid in his team and Tekken Kid is a strong player. Here we're gonna go aggressive. Tekken Kid creative space. Once again, like I said, they have nothing to stop the crunch. Like I said, Muriel and Grim is a good duo lane to be able to apply pressure, but as soon as you start like that situation, like you cannot really do anything because you have no CC to stop like a crunch that is super big. And here the team is gonna probably like go towards like the R prime. Like they want to secure the R prime, and we can see here Cold just being a nuisance, but he's not gonna overstay his bundle. He's welcome because we have the Feng Mao coming back. And of course the Feng Mao can one-shot him. So you can see like here the team is on the R prime. And we place like double trap and we just stay there. And here the goal is like it's super smart. We're just like making the situation complicated for the Feng Mao, but we don't overstay because like yeah, we delay him a little bit and now we stay again. And now we delay you a little bit because we don't want to be a ball. And here they try to go with the Muriel. Feng Mao is trying to go in for the Hail Mary play, but it's already too much damage, too much time lost. And simply by this smart play, now Gold Aisha is securing the R prime by zoning perfectly like this Feng Mao, and now with triple Feng Tooth and the R prime, the team will just like push together and secure the W for themselves, despite having a very, very rough early game. So I hope you enjoyed that game by Cold. I think it teaches us a lot that a big thing is about like smart fight and not always like about crazy mechanical stuff. And even if you fall behind, you just have to be smart about it and just wait for your success. So on this skill, I'm gonna leave you there and see you for another video in the future. Thank you everyone. I'm out.